Hi, it's Sandy Wyllie. Welcome to my mental health channel, where I wipe away the stigma of mental illness by talking about my own personal struggles, having borderline personality disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, depression. I talk about narcissism, schizophrenia, bipolar. I cover all the different types of therapies, DBT, cognitive therapy, psychoanalytical therapy, psychodynamic. I talk about my own experiences with unethical psychologists, the psychologist that had sex with me for 2 years, and the licensing board fight with that, and the lawyers, and a plethora of other mental health topics. But I only come on as a former patient of almost 20 years. I just share my personal experiences with you. I am not a licensed therapist. I do not hold a degree in psychology. I cannot diagnose you. I cannot give you a professional opinion. All I ask in return of you is to please be kind in the comments below. Be kind to me. Be kind to other people who comment. Please don't say nasty things. Please show respect. I have had some nasty comments, and there's really no need for that. We don't have to agree on everything, of course not. But we do need to respect each other's opinions. And I welcome all of your comments as long as they're respectful and kind. I appreciate the people who are, want to share their struggles, their mental illnesses, what they're going through with me. And I'll always, reply back to you. So if you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome. If you haven't already, you hit that subscribe button there on the right. And if you like what you see, hit that like button up there on the left. That way, if you subscribe, you'll be notified when I do other videos. They'll give you a message, and you'll be able to tune in. Now, today's topic is, are you neurotic? Now, let's talk about that, because I'm neurotic, okay? Neurotic isn't just being worried, everyone gets worried from time to time about one thing or another, right? When you are neurotic, it interferes with your life. It interferes with your personal relationships, and it interferes on the job. It can interfere with your mental health a lot, and it can interfere with your physical health. Being that keyed up produces cortisol, and it's like the fight or flight stimulant that if you have that at high octane levels for so long, it can do damage to your heart. So let's get into it. The faucets of neuroticism are 3: anxiety, depression, and emotional volatility. When you just get so worked up like that. It's very common with people who have that emotional volatility, borderline personality disorder, as I do, and have a very hard time regulating your emotions, as I do, because I have borderline personality disorder. Now, the anxiety in someone who is neurotic is just profound, okay? It interferes with their day. So, every day when they're going about their daily things, they can't concentrate. They become obsessed with whatever it is that's, on their mind at that time. And I'm going to give you a perfect example of how I am neurotic, my neurotic anxiety, okay? Next door to me, I have these neighbors who have 4 children, okay, under the age of 10. There's a 2-year-old, there's a 5, a 6-year-old, and an 8-year-old. And so these neighbors put out this, do you know those 2 foot or 3 foot, I think they're 2 or 3 feet, plastic signs of a child that says slow down children at play or go slow, and they have a flag usually in out like this. They're about, I don't know, maybe 3 feet, I don't know, like that. Well, anyway, my next door neighbors put that sign out in the middle of, I live on a dead end street. They put that sign out in the middle of the street, okay? The street is very narrow, okay? It is dead end, but there's houses, a couple of houses past me, and there's houses, past where they live. And they got that sign smack dab in the middle of the street. And the street is very narrow, okay? They keep that sign out constantly, all the time, all right? It's always there when I'm leaving. And it's like, first of all, I looked up on the internet. Those signs are not supposed to be in the middle of the road, okay, obstructing traffic. They're not even supposed to be on the sidewalk, because that will make, the sidewalk has to be handicap, accessible. In other words, if someone is in a wheelchair and they have that sign blocked in the middle of the sidewalk, the person in the wheelchair can't get past it. The place for those signs are supposed to be on the edge of someone's property, okay? These neighbors don't believe in that. They have, they have so much junk in front of their house on the sidewalk. Tricycles, scooters, those motorized bikes that I don't think you're even allowed to ride in the middle of the street, and they ride them tearing up and down the street all the time. But this sign is in the smack dab in the middle of the street. So every morning I wake up and I see the sign, I get really neurotic and worried, okay? All day long about when I leave the house, that sign is going to be there and I'm going to have to go around it. And if another car is coming, it's like smack dab in the middle of the street. So I worry that, an accident is going to pursue because of that sign being there, that, I have to swerve around, and if another car is coming and there's cars parked, so I can't see on that side, there's cars parked all along the street. So I get really worked up. I get really upset. I get upset from the moment I wake up and see that friggin' sign in the middle of the street. I get all fucked up. I get all worked up. And then, I worry about when I come back home. Oh, Jesus, is there going to be the sign there again? Are there going to be kids, like, they think the street is like a playground, okay? What am I going to have to go around or avoid or swerve or, I just want to leave my house, and not have to worry about any shit like that, obstacles. I just want to get in the car and go and come back home and not have to worry. So this, like, really ruins my whole day, So that's a sign of neurotic anxiety, because a person that does not have neuroses, right? A person who doesn't suffer neuroticism, not neurotic, or someone who isn't neurotic, would not have that, eat them up. They would not be all encompassed, all consumed, all obsessed about that. They would not worry about that the moment they got up and all day long looking out the window to see if that, if that sign is in the middle of the street. And don't tell me to go talk to my neighbors, because they hate me. I don't want to get into the details about it, but we don't talk to each other, okay? We stay far, far, far apart from each other. So what do I do? Nothing. I just worry. So it really, it really interferes with my happiness. It interferes with my daily activity. So this is why that is, a neurotic display of anxiety that does impact my life negatively, Also, depression is another one, being unhappy, feeling stuck in your life, and then the emotional volatility, when you're volatile, okay, I'm not saying it right, when you, like me, You easily get upset. You have severe mood swings depending on like circumstances out of your control. Like if I don't see the sign in the street, I'm happy. If I see the sign in the street, it ruins my day. You see, like that, I can go from, one moment being happy and pleasant to the next moment being completely, irritable and snap at my husband or snap at my son because things aren't right. Like for instance, in the morning when I wake up and I see any clutter on the counter, I get very upset. I can't, even before my coffee or my breakfast or anything, if I see clutter that my son leaves from the night before, any dishes in the sink or any glasses or plates or anything on the counter or anything, I get upset because I don't want my kitchen to have any clutter. So I have to automatically, put everything away. That upsets me. That like already, starts my day off on the wrong footing. And these kind of things can interfere very, very deeply with relationships. On your job, they can interfere with your job, with your health, with your physical health, with your mental health, because it's no good for me to feel like like I'm in a pressure cooker. That's kind of how it feels like. It feels like I'm in a pressure cooker. You know those pressure cookers when you put the lid on them, and everything steams, it's to make the food cook faster. I'm cooking faster because I'm under a pressure cooker. And it does impact, my relationships. Like when something isn't done in the house and I tell my husband to do it and he says he'll do it and he hasn't jumped and done it right away, like 5 minutes go by and I go, well, why haven't you done that? Because, I'm neurotic. Those things will bother me. Someone else would just let it roll off their shoulders. I mean, I do have borderline personality disorder, so I can't emotionally regulate my feelings. It's certainly not healthy to be this way. Like, for instance, when I go for a checkup, I'm always worried they're going to find cancer. People go for a physical exam once a year, right? They're not worried. They just say, okay, I worry I'm going to have cancer. Like if I go for a mammogram, I'm already convinced before they do it that I have cancer, So this is, this makes me it prevents me from going for mammograms because I'm too afraid. I had 2 breast biopsies, by the way. They both came back negative. But my very first mammogram, I needed a breast biopsy. And they told me there was a 20% chance of cancer. And then I needed another breast biopsy. And they told me the same thing. So I'm kind of like really neurotic. I want to stay away from that because I want to avoid that drama. But of course, it's not healthy to stay away from getting these these physical health screenings because they can catch something early and they can save your life. But with me, it's like I'd rather stay far, far away from them because I know once I make the appointment, I'll be totally neurotic until it's over and I have a clear bill of health. I won't be able to deal with the waiting, for the result to come back. I'll be totally neurotic. I'll be drinking vodka. I'll be, pacing the floor, which I've done in doctor's offices. I've paced the floor. Back and forth and back and forth. And this was recently. I had to go into an OB-GYN, my old OB-GYN who, delivered both my sons because I was having some woman problems. I won't get into the details. But I automatically assumed it was cancer, of course. So I was really, neurotic. I mean, I couldn't sleep at night. I couldn't eat. I was like consumed that I had cancer. So what happened was my OB-GYN was in there. I had my husband come in with me because I thought this was the end. This is it. I'm going to be gone. I'm going to die. So his cell phone rang during my appointment and he said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I have to leave. I'll be right back. I have to take this call." So when he left, I'm pacing his office, you know, the examining room. And my husband's there, and it's a tiny, it's only like the examining table and a chair and maybe like a little cabinet, you know, very little. And I'm pacing one end to the other, and I'm going back and forth. Like, if you saw me, you'd say, yo, what the hell? What's wrong with you, lady? So you can see how being neurotic like that, you know, assuming the worst about things, worrying needlessly about a sign in the street, things that you can't control, you know, having them ruin your whole day. You know, it can be grating on other people because, you know, if you're constantly complaining, like which I was, and that can be grating on people, on your friends and family. They don't want to be around you on a job. Since I work for myself. But so how do you control that? Maybe you have some good suggestions that you might want to put like in the comments. Do you are you neurotic? Do you always assume the worst? Do you let little day-to-day things get you so much that they interfere with your life? See, like that? Do you think everything is a catastrophe waiting to happen? That's what that OB-GYN said to me. He said, Mrs. Catastrophic. I'm waiting for a catastrophe to happen. He made fun of the way, I mean, he was making fun of how neurotic I was acting, you know. Do you have any ways that, you know, the only way that that helps my neuroses is drinking vodka. Okay, it's not good. I don't, you know, I've been having only 2 glasses of wine, but like if I feel really tense and neurotic, I might start putting a shot or 2 of vodka. Just like, I need something to calm my nerves. Ah! All right, let me know. First of all, let me know if you deal with have any neuroses. How does it affect your life? And please, if you have any way that you can cope with it, please let me know, because I haven't, you know, I don't do well coping with my neuroses, okay? So if you have any way, except for maybe walking in nature, being in nature, which is raining out today, so I can't do this video. I always do the videos the day before and then put them on the next day, you know. So raining out, can't do that, so I'm stuck inside. I don't have my beautiful trees, which calm me down, and no. All right, till next time, take